This build relies on a fully built prison with the legendary Soulmate perk for an additional summoned pet. The armor allow for medium rolling with just 0.1 kilo to spare due to 7 in strong back perk. The armor is Radiant Visage headpiece, Disciple Mantle chest piece, Radiant Greaves and finally Radiant Braces. We will use Lifesteal for all our healing starting with Profane Heart. Soulstone Amulet for pet and turret damage and to make the fat reavers move a bit faster. Soul Shard Ring for 15% universal damage. Ring of Ordnance for turret ammo. Soul Link for more juicy lifesteal. And finally Soul Guard for 2 or 3 constant bulwarks. Coach Gun with the Insulator Mutator will prevent a lot of one-hit deaths, every shot is a fresh shield. And then we have Familiar for an additional pet and some damage. Krell Axe is only useful if you run out of ammo. Repair Tool with the Refunder Mutator is very effective for generating a bit of ammo for the Coach Gun, and the Root Lash is even more pets for the build theme. Only 3 perks are truly critical on the prison. Soulmate is a given of course. But skill cooldown is important for ammo regeneration and to recast dead pets. Skill damage is good for all the pet damage. The rest of the prism is entirely up to you. I gave mine a bit of mod damage and mod generation. And a bit of survivability. For traits I went with Kinship because there absolutely will be friendly fire. 7 into Strongback so we can stay on medium roll. Vigor for health. Expertise for ammo and lower cooldowns. Blood Bond for survivability. Barkskin for damage reduction. Rugged to double the summoned pet's health. And Leech plus Siphoner for more lifesteal. With no pets we sit at 58.8% damage reduction. With the core pets out we hit 67.5% damage reduction. And when the low duration pets from mods are summoned we break into the 70% damage reduction. Your main source of healing comes from your Vulcan turret, so put it down as often as you can. When you have to use the impact cannon turret then pay attention to your health. There are a few tips I would like to share from playing this build. The Vulcan Engineer turret will be the superior turret for most of the content ahead. But for a few fights I would suggest using the impact cannon instead. The Witch and Lawson, the one that spin around and around in a tight corridor. And for both Nightweaver's phases. And the Reavers are terrible for the Mother fight. And especially for the Annihilation fight. I strongly suggest taking the time to switch to flyers outside the boss doors. The only reason to use relic charges is to either heal or buff the pets. Using pets in multiplayer boss runs is often a liability. But solo runs, and especially campaigns and adventures, are a lot of fun with a pet army like this. I am very much a mid-skill player, but I don't really have any problems with this build on Apocalypse. So if I can do it then every Remnant gamer on the planet should be able to pull it off too. The rest of this video is a proof of concept on Apocalypse. This build is nowhere near as fast as some of the high DPS builds. Or near as safe as the true tank builds. This was made entirely with pets in mind, having them do the damage. There is however plenty of room for the player to do some damage too.